Hello everyone and welcome to EduTap. In this video, we are going to talk about the winning strategy for all the aspirants of ESIC Deputy Director exam that they can use for the subject of freedom movement and Indian Union. As we all know that in this exam of Deputy Director, the syllabus that has been given to us by the commission, the syllabus explicitly mentions that freedom movement and Indian Union, this topic is going to be the part of that general awareness section of the exam. Now, this topic, freedom movement and Indian Union, looking at it, it's just 4 words, freedom movement and Indian Union, but this topic in itself is quite vast. Because if we talk about the Indian freedom movement, that Indian national struggle for freedom, it starts before 1857, even before 1857 it starts, and then it comes up to 1947, and there are lots and lots of important events, important personalities, important incidents and reports and policies and laws that we have to read about in order to make sure that any question that comes from this section, we can accurately answer this. So let us quickly look at the strategy that we can adopt if we want to ace this particular component. First of all, I want to clarify one thing, that many of the aspirants for this examination, we come from very diverse backgrounds. Many of us, we are from a background which has not read about Indian history in quite detail. Many of us who are engineers or who are doctors or who have taken other subjects in the school and graduation examinations or post-grad, not history but other subjects, we are not very well aware about the freedom movement part and the Indian Union part. So it is especially difficult for those aspirants belonging to the commerce background or to the science background who have not read about this subject in their early years. For those aspirants who have been students of arts and humanities and who have read about history and Indian past and Indian Union in their courses in the college or in the school level, they can easily ace this particular component. But for other aspirants belonging to different backgrounds, no need to worry. This simple strategy, if you follow, you can make sure that the questions which come from this section, you can answer them sufficiently, right? So first of all, we must be aware about the chapters, about the topics that are part of this particular component. We have delineated all the important chapters from the Indian freedom movement and Indian Union part, and for all these chapters, we at EduTap, we provide you this particular course where we include our handouts, videos and MCQs. We had given that course initially. Many of you aspirants have already subscribed to that course, but even if you have not subscribed to the EduTap course, or you are taking help from some other coaching institution, or you are preparing on your own self, make sure that you cover these all important chapters. We already have a separate video on this YouTube channel where I'm talking about these important chapters that are there and how these chapters are being explained in our course. And if you are using some other source or if you're preparing on your own self, you make sure that you prepare these 20 chapters. Then these chapters, starting from the decline of Mughals, not very important, these 4 chapters, because they are the initial part of the Indian freedom struggle. But as we come towards 1947, we see important events during the 18th-19th century. 1857 revolt, very important. Rise of nationalism, moderates versus extremists, freedom fighters. And then we come on to the later phase of the Indian freedom struggle, where we talk about the freedom, different movements, different strategies that were adopted from 1919 to 1947, miscellaneous topics, revolutionary trends, Indian important personalities and leaders who were active during the time. All these things, you have to be very careful that you read about all these things. And because the paper is being set up by Union Public Service Commission, and the paper, looking at the previous year question paper, we can see the level of questions which are asked in ESIC DD. Absolutely not at all easy questions, we can say all of them are, but yes, the questions are easily solvable if you are careful enough in these particular chapters, right? Next, what is important in these chapters? I have given you 20 chapters. Now you will say 20 chapters, if we read, obviously we can answer all the questions, but what are the important topics that you have to keep in mind while preparing for this particular examination? First of all, regional kingdoms, right? Bengal, Hyderabad, Mysore and Awadh. These are the 4 independent states which got separated after the decline of Mughal Empire, and these states had a very crucial role to play in the initial phases of the Indian freedom struggle, right? Then Maratha and Sikh Empire, Vijayanagara Kingdom. These are the medieval kingdoms, we can say, or the later medieval kingdoms that actually when Europeans came to India, these kingdoms, they were still active at that time and they had a crucial role to play. So you will read about all of them. Then advent of Europeans in India, especially Portuguese, French and Dutch who came early. Then early centers where they set up their factories. This is very important, right? very carefully, you have to read about the first factories or the first settlements which was set up differently by Portuguese, by Dutch, by English, by French, right? All these centers should be very clear to you. There is a scope of a great amount of confusion because there are various names of these centers which have changed now. Earlier they were called by some other name. For example, Masulipatam, it was called first of all as Machilipatnam, right? Then various other centers along the western coast of our country, their names have changed after independence. So be very careful about reading about all those early centers. Then how Britishers, they became the supreme European power, how they got stronghold over India, how they defeated other European powers and surpassed them. Then the company policy, the East India Company which was set up by the Britishers, what were the policies adopted by the company initially to strengthen their control over India? That is very important. Next, British policies, first of all, regulating acts, starting from the 1773 Regulating Act up till the Government of India Act of 1935, you will have to read about the provisions of all the acts and laws which were passed by the British Parliament in context of India, right? Expansion policies like subsidiary alliance was there, doctrine of lapse was there. The Britishers, they used excuses, various policies or various different reasons they gave in order to annex Indian kings and Indian princely states. So we have to read about those. We have to read about administrative policies. What were the reforms or what were the changes being brought by the Britishers in the justice system of our country, in the education system of our country, in the law and order system of our country, in the revenue collection, tax collection system of our country, in the agricultural setup of our country. All these things we will read in respect to British policies. Then comes revolt of 1857. In the revolt, you will read about causes and impacts. What was the cause of the revolt? What was the impact of the revolt? Who were the people who were active during the revolt? Right? Had some major contributions, especially if we talk about Rani Lakshmi Bai and her compatriots like Nana Sahib. All these different leaders, they have to be read about. Next, major centers where the revolt was seriously active, especially in central and northern India. And then 1857, pre-1857 smaller revolts were happening. We will read about that too. Next comes your important leaders and associations. Socio-religious reforms. Now be very careful. Again, a caveat I am giving here. The syllabus that I am giving you, the topics that I am giving you, these topics, as we go forward in slides, as we go forward in time, all these topics, they become more and more important, right? So revolt of 1857 is very important, and more important than that would be the important leaders and association. How Indian National Congress was formed. Before Indian National Congress was formed, which organizations were existing before that, and how social religious reforms were being brought by different reform organizations, right? Like there was Brahmo Samaj, like there was Prarthana Samaj, Sarvajanik Sabha in Pune. So all these different organizations have to be read about. Moderates, extremists, revolutionaries, the freedom fighters, they all of them, they had their own kinds of ideologies, and they had differences amongst themselves also. So what were the different ideologies which were prevalent among the Indian freedom fighters, that you will have to read. And how Indian nationalism, it came into being, how different people belonging to different backgrounds, speaking different languages, eating different kinds of foods, living in different parts of the subcontinent, they came together and identified themselves as Indian. That is also a very important part of the syllabus. Next, after Gandhiji comes in the scenario, we have to read about Swadeshi and Home Rule movement before Gandhi. Then what was the contribution of Gandhi in shaping the Indian freedom struggle, and how world wars happened, and what was the impact of world wars on the India and India as a colony of the British Empire. That you will have to read about. Okay. Next, struggle for the 20th century, Gandhian movements, all movements starting from the Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda Satyagraha, Ahmedabad mill strike, then your non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience movement, quit India movement, and then after around the 1947 time, when the communal riots were happening, the fast, intermittent fast that was taken by Gandhiji to ensure communal peace and harmony. All these things that you will read, right? Then communal trends, there were various communal trends propping up at that time. Various communal organizations, both from the Hindu side and Muslim side, they were active during the times of the partition. And Indian National Army, the contribution of Subhash Chandra Bose, how the Indian National Army impacted the stronghold of British over the Indian armed forces, that is also very important. And after World War II, Cripps proposals were there, the Wavell plan was there, then cabinet mission came to India during the Second World War, and after the war was over, what were the recommendations made by the Britishers in order for India to become free? All these things are very important. And finally, the Indian Union, how the different states in India came into being. You will have to remember, different states as we see them today, when these states were formed, when these states were separated from some pre-existing state, then demands for statehood in different parts of the country, still there are various regional organizations or regional people who demand their own state, right? And then how political developments happen in our country. So this is the part of basically Indian freedom struggle and Indian Union. All these topics I have told you, but you will think, how am I going to prepare for this? The preparation, it needs the sources, it needs time management, and it needs the right approach. So if we talk about sources, what are the sources from where you can get the content to read about? You can use EduTap course notes if you have them, or you can subscribe these course notes. Otherwise, you can take help of NCERT history books. The NCERT history books, if you read all of these history books starting from class 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, obviously you will have all the information you need in order to answer simple questions of Indian freedom movement, right? In the course that EduTap has prepared, we have included the content from the NCERT history books and also from other reference books which include exam relevant information, right? How much time management you need, how much time you need in order to prepare all this? You need at least 30 days and 3 hours of study each day for this particular component. If you have not read about Indian history initially, if you are if you are coming from a commerce background or a science background and you don't have a good prior knowledge of Indian history and especially the freedom struggle, then I would recommend at least 3 hours a day for 30 days, for a month. It is absolutely necessary in order to gain a very good understanding of the subject. But if you have prior knowledge of the Indian freedom struggle, if you have been studying Indian history and the Indian freedom struggle in your schools and colleges days, then this 30 days, this time it might get reduced. You might also require only to practice mocks, only to revise and not to read. Right, for other aspirants, they have to read, they have to revise, and then they have to practice mocks in order to make sure that all the concepts, all the facts, all the dates and information that they have learned, everything is concrete in their mind. But if you already have read about his Indian history in the previously or for other examinations or during your school college days, then you can shorten this time, and then you can also straight on move forward to revision and mocks practicing. Clear? Next up, what is the mantra for success? Mantra for success is again very simple. The winning strategy is very simple, my friends. Most of the aspirants preparing for the ESIC DD examination, many of us are already working in some organization. We are already working for some many years. Many of us are preparing for some other examinations also, and we are taking time out from the preparation from those examinations in order to prepare for this. So again, you will have to first of all know your own situation, that where you are standing. Do you have knowledge of this particular component from your previous examinations, from preparations from the other examinations? If yes, then you can use that positively. If you don't have that knowledge, then what you have to do? You will have to read. You will have to first of all read the entire content, and reading is the most important part here, because you will have to read this vast syllabus. The syllabus, I would say some part of it is very interesting, some part of it is not that interesting, and you will have to mug those facts up. Especially from the students from commerce and science backgrounds, it becomes very difficult while memorizing all these different things from our historical past. But be very careful that you will have to read all these things, and then you will have to reread them. You will have to revise them continuously. Unless and until you revise, many of the things that you keep on learning, they will start slipping out of your mind. For example, if you start reading about revolt of 1857, after 2 or 3 or 4 days, after a week even, when you come to the later part of the Indian freedom struggle, it may happen that 1857 revolt is out of your mind. You don't remember anything about it. So you will have to keep on revising. More you revise, the more you practice mocks, the more information you will be able to retain in your mind. Because when you practice, when you try to answer a mock question, when you try to answer an MCQ and you don't know the answer, or you answer the question inaccurately, incorrectly, then when you check the correct answer, when you check the correct solution and explanation, that will be imprinted in your mind for a very long time. If I answer some question incorrectly and then I get to see the right answer, I will remember that right answer. I will remember the concept for a very long time. At least it is true for me, and I hope it is true for most of you as well, right? And then after revising, after practicing, you will be able to retain, right? It is important that you retain the information. The lots of dates and names of different freedom fighters and personalities, names of different places will be there, names of various organizations will be there, which will be very confusing. So you have to make sure that you are able to retain that. So this is the mantra for success, and this is the only winning strategy that you can adopt for ESIC DT examination. So how can we help? How can we help you in devising your own strategy or using this particular strategy for achieving success in the exam? The EduTap is coming up with this master test series course, where we know that we have already provided you with a course where all the content is available. Video lectures, notes, handouts, everything is available to you. So now we are providing you with this test series where 8,500, more than 8,500 high quality MCQs from all across the static syllabus and from the current affairs as well is being provided to you. Be it the maths part or the CSAT part or the English part, or be it the static syllabus part, or be it the current affairs, all of these sections we are providing high quality MCQs scattered through all of them. More than 8500 high quality MCQs are there, so you can practice them, and that will not only give you a lot of confidence but will also act as a source of preparation for you, right? Chapter wise MCQs are there for all the static components. For example, freedom movement and Indian Union, all the different 20 chapters that I showed you, in all those chapters we are providing you with this chapter wise MCQ, so that once you read the chapter, then you are able to go through those MCQs and check yourself whether you have retained something or not, right? 3 full length tests are also there. So detailed downloadable solutions will be given for all the 3 full length tests. In all the 3 full length tests, just like the previous pattern of the ESIC DT examination, we are going to follow that, and we are also going to follow the same level of questions, maybe even better questions in the examination. On top of that, you get personalized guidance via phone call with the mentors. All the mentors, all the subject specialists are available here. Whenever you have any confusion regarding your strategy or regarding your marks or regarding your morale or your confidence, you can anyways always contact your mentor through our EduTap support, and you will get a personalized guidance. You will get personalized custom-made solutions for yourself, right? And all of this is available in 3500 rupees, that is our course price, and on this course price you can avail flat 40% off if you use the code ESIC. So use the code ESIC. Do not forget to use the code before coming up with this, before buying this particular course. 40% off absolutely you will get on this course price. Be very careful, the course validity is 31st July 2022, so you will obviously, your exam will happen before that and you will have to take care of this. In addition, because EduTap wants to help all of you aspirants, we are providing you with these MCQs and personalized call and full length tests, but as a bonus, absolutely free of cost, along with this course, we are providing you with the module of Principles of Marketing Management, Principles of Accounting and Financial Management, next Principles of Human Resource Management, and Current Affairs magazines month-wise compiled. All these 4 modules will be provided to you absolutely free of cost along with this test series course. So if you are going to buy the test series, not only you will be getting the test series, the MCQs and the personalized guidance, but also video lectures and notes for marketing management, financial and accounts and financial management, and as well as human resource management, because these 3 courses, they are not easy to acquire from the market. In the market, be it online or offline, it is very difficult to find good content, good quality material for these 3 subjects. But EduTap has a specialty for these subjects, and that is why we have prepared video lectures and notes as well for you for these 3 subjects. And for the current affairs, you will get a compilation of all the important current affairs month-wise segregated in the current affairs magazine, right? So this is what EduTap is going to do for you. EduTap is going to do everything possible to help you crack this examination, to give your best in order to so that you can fulfill your potential, but you will have to work hard on your own. The work, the efforts that you put in, the dedication that you will have to maintain, the consistency that you will have to maintain, that is all on you, right? So please do like this video if you like the content that I provided, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel as well as the Telegram channel, because on the channel, YouTube channel, you are going to get live sessions, all the content, all the examinations that you are preparing for, you will be getting some content for that on our channel. And on the Telegram, you will be getting the PDFs of all the sessions that we take on YouTube, the PDFs and the content that we want to provide, that is available in the Telegram channel. So this is all from my side. Please feel free to contact EduTap at hello@edutap.co.in or contact us at 8146207241 in case of any doubt or confusion regarding the course or regarding any exam or regarding your own personal strategy for the preparation. Thank you. Keep reading, keep studying, keep growing. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.